AITA for leaving my husband at the airport after finding a second passport in his bag with a different name. We were checking in for our anniversary trip. I offered to get his passport from his carry-on. There were two, same photo, different name, different country. I had been married to this man for 6 years. We had been together for 10 years and married for 6. I had organized almost everything about this trip: the flights, the villa in Portugal, the restaurant I had been wanting to go to for years. I was excited in the uncomplicated way you can be when you are genuinely happy with your life. At the airport, he went to queue for coffee and asked me to get his passport from the front pocket of his carry-on bag. I unzipped it. There were 2 passports in the pocket. I took them both out. One was his name, his photo, the country we lived in. The other was the same photograph, different name, different country of issue, different everything except the face. I stood in the middle of the departure lounge holding 2 passports belonging to the same man, and I could not move for what felt like a very long time. He came back with the coffees. He saw what I was holding. He set both cups down very carefully. He didn't say anything for a moment, and in that moment of silence, he told me more than he ever would have been able to put into words. I asked him to explain. He asked me to stay calm. I said I was very calm, which was true. I was not panicking. I was not crying. I was in the specific stillness that comes when something so large happens that your body doesn't know which feeling to produce. He said he had used a second identity in his mid-20s. He said it was from a period of his life he had left behind. He said he had not used it since we had been together. He said he had kept it just in case, without being able to tell me what just in case meant. I asked him 14 questions in those 14 minutes. I remember the questions, but I'm not going to list them all here. The one that matters most, I asked if my name was on any document, account, or legal instrument connected to this second identity. He paused. That pause was longer than the first one. I left the airport without him. I got a taxi home. I changed the security code on the front door. We owned the property together. I knew this was a gesture more than anything legally meaningful, but I needed the night. I called my solicitor from the back of the taxi. I called my sister from the kitchen floor. He sent 47 messages between the airport and midnight. I counted. They said he could explain. They said our marriage was real. They said, please, please, please. I believed that he believed our marriage was real. I just didn't know anymore who he was in it. Am I the asshole? Update 7 months later. The picture I now have is this. In his mid-20s, my husband was involved in a financial fraud in the country where he had been living at the time. He left before prosecution. The second identity had been obtained during that period and had allowed him to build a new life, including, eventually, a life with me without his history following him. He had not used the second identity during our marriage. My name was not on any document connected to it. Those 2 facts are, I suppose, the best version of this story. The worst version is that I was 6 years into a marriage with someone I did not fully know, and there is no way to unknow that. We are divorced. The process was complicated and expensive. My solicitor was excellent. I went to Portugal in March. Alone. I stayed in a smaller place than the villa we'd booked, and I ate at the restaurant I had been wanting to visit for years. The food was extraordinary. I cried a little into my wine, but mostly I sat there and I felt something that surprised me, something that was almost peace. I am someone who went on my anniversary trip alone and had a good meal and felt almost peace. I think that's better than it sounds. NTA or ITA? Would you have left? Comment below.